going to invite some peeps. So give me just a moment while I do that. How are you doing? Good morning. Drop me a line and let me know who's here. I'm just inviting a shit ton of people. How was the weekend? I keep forgetting my camera is here. I'm so used to like looking to the side for my phone. Oh man. All right. I invited a bunch of people. Invite your friends. Look. Oh shit. Hi, John. Oh man, I'm gonna bust my computer. But look, it was my dad's idea. We got like myline, what are they called? Balloons at the dollar store. And I taped them all together and created this, and it's really working. Like, I am honestly a bit surprised. Hey, Lacey! Look, I was just showing Joan. I insulated my tent. Oh man, I'm always crooked. So how was your weekend? Yeah, Lacey, like, was a bit sad when I realized that we weren't gonna go live this morning. Like, basically it's been, other side. It's been Lacey and I doing lives from the from my YouTube channel, and sorry guys, and it helped me. Like, schedule is definitely something that's hard for me, so doing these lives in the morning helps me stay on track, and it also is really helping me like wake up. And so it's also helping me prepare myself for motivational speaking. And that makes me so excited. So I was trying to think, what could I make the mornings about? And then I realized we're just going to go through symptoms and talk about the emotional root. And then have fun doing tarot card readings. Yay! Is my connection good? Good morning. Thank you for joining. All right. Oh, so while I'm waiting to see if anybody else is gonna join, I wonder. Okay, I can go over here. I'm still figuring this stuff out. Why does it only suggest there's like not that many people? I want my whole list. I need all my peoples. Okay. Well, if they don't join now, then they'll watch it later. Oh, good. Okay. The messages are lagging because I just got that. So if it takes me a minute to answer a question, that's why. So we are going to go over, and this is the book I use. I always suggest everybody get it. Did you get it yet, Lacey? Did you? It's indispensable. Like, it is hands down the most helpful book. Like, gosh, I think ever. This and Codependency No More were like life-changing. Not just codependency no more, but I went to Coda, which is like and Al-Anon, and they work out of a big blue book. And when I was reading the stories of like other people that were adult children of alcoholics, that's what it was, adult children of alcoholics, which is codependency. Like, it's codependency. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's, I mean, yeah, codependency. And then Ross Rosenberg, how he describes codependency as self-love deficit disorder. And his videos are really bland and boring, but if you look him up on YouTube, like, what he's saying is, really helpful. Because as soon as I realized that I was making a lot of these decisions out of, an unhealthy frame of mind, and that all of it was stemming from a lack of love for myself, that's when things really shifted. And I was like, oh, so a way to biohack all of this crap is by just doing things to love myself. Because I'm all about like the easier, softer way. I have friends that are going through detoxes that are putting them in healing crisis. And it's counterintuitive, because the whole reason why we're like this is because we have been unkind to our bodies and our psyche. And so for me, like, why do that? You're already feeling like shit. Why make yourself feel like shit even more? Like, it's like negative self-talk. You already feel like shit, and then we beat ourselves up. It's like, what? So yeah, once I decided to dive into self-love, that was a big shift for me. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because first came the realization that I could bypass the illness manifestation itself, because it's a real thing. It's just, how have we brought it to us? What message is it bringing? And I realized, oh, I can just, like, the shortcut is raising your vibration. And then by doing all of the things that raised my vibration, it ended up coming to detox, and then through the divorce and all the string of men, if you want to call man babies, all of the man babies, I realized, like, oh, I am totally attracting these things because I don't love myself. Because if I loved myself truly, it would look like I had boundaries. And if I had boundaries, then I wouldn't be getting involved in relationships with people who didn't respect boundaries. It was all a reflection. So after that, after I realized, oh, I can just biohack all of this shit by raising my vibration, which leads to self-love, because that's of a higher vibration. So there's levels to this shit, man, as Kendrick Lamar says. But there really is. And like, you got to work on certain things before other things, because it's just, you're going up the vibrational scale. And so working through this trauma stuff is part of it. So the autoimmune disease encompasses Addison's, arthritis, feeling attacked, diabetes, hypoglycemia, immune system, lupus, multiple sclerosis, thyroid, and virus. So sorry, I'm shaking the thing. So those are other things. It's like when you pull another tarot card, it's like, do you want to go deeper? Do you have one of these things? And then you look that up. And so these are the emotions that are giving us a clue that, oh, Sunny just texted me. Let me, I'm live in the group, not Foop. Going over autoimmune. He's got immunities. Who knows what that's from? Lacey, because again, you're the only one in here. I'm live in the group going over autoimmune disorder. Yeah. So these are the emotions that our body is trying to communicate with us. Sometimes it's communication where it's just a confirmation that, like, you know, I looked up elbow and knee, all the issues that I've been having, all the manifestations that I've been having, and all of them are just confirmation that I'm in the middle of making decisions, and I'm, you know, all of that stuff. So, and I'm like afraid of moving forward and all kinds of stuff. So I looked at that and I was like, oh, okay, it's just confirmation of what I'm dealing with, you know, and then it's guidance on how can I kind of lean in a little bit more and, you know, speed up the process. Did I tell you I did a healing session on my dad this morning? Did I say that already? It was the first time we actually did a session. I had done a remove the shock and trauma of something, but this was like the first time like I really sat down with him and did a full session. And he slept for a little bit afterwards, more soundly than I had seen him sleeping. And so we'll see. We removed waywards and malevolent energies. We did a DNA activation. We removed the shock and trauma of something. I can't remember. We did a bunch of stuff, so we'll see. All right, skis. There are many times when you feel challenged to judge for yourself. Who is my friend and who is my enemy? You don't trust your own judgment or those around you whom you rely on. You may be stuck in an unconscious state of fight or flight. You seem to feel attacked either verbally or physically by others. You don't feel comfortable or welcome in the family. You often confuse positive criticism with a personal attack, always looking for signs in communication that an attack is imminent. You expect the worst case scenario and are prepared for it. You were often under a great deal of scrutiny. You could never do anything right and felt punished and attacked for people who would have guided and supported you. Your perception and understanding of what safety feels like has been affected by emotional abuse, which is why in sessions with almost everybody, we end up getting around to a safety issue. Your immune suffer, oh, wait. The abuse may have been projected at you or was witnessed when your parents abused each other. Whoa. How do you know that? You may often feel attacked and are always in defense mode, fight or flight. This results in the body always fighting or resisting anything and anyone that might seem suspicious. Your body starts to fight and defend left, right, and center, eventually attacking itself. There is also an emotional component of losing control emotionally. You often have a fear of confrontation because it may provoke judgment, criticism, or abusive responses. This usually stems from having a narcissistic parent. You have begun to internalize this anger and project it at yourself. which is why a big exercise we do is every day telling yourself, I love you in a mirror. And self-love, self-love. Your poor personal boundaries and need for love and acceptance have resulted in you allowing people to walk all over you. During your childhood, you may have seen that it was acceptable for one spouse to walk over the other. Your experience didn't feel important enough because you were suppressed and silenced. You were programmed that kind and giving people should never create conflict. This is huge. And it's just a programming. So in sessions, we can do a deprogram and then reprogram it with the source or consciousness concept of whatever we deprogram is. So you often don't want to let go of the past trauma. This is because trauma has become a deep part of your identity and you fear that a part of you will disappear if you resolve it. That is something that I work on consistently, because there was definitely this crucial moment where I was like, I know at the time I didn't know language, but I know that I want to let go of this trauma, but it's been my story for so long that without it, I don't know who I will be. What if I don't like who I will be without my trauma? What if my trauma is, no. You know what I mean? So it was a big part of me to change my perception of what the trauma was, where you can kind of disassociate from it, but not in a way where you're completely dismissing it. It just becomes, something that you did, and now you're able to reinvent yourself, basically. Looking at it from a beneficial standpoint, and not needing to hold on to it, like the Lyme disease, I held on to it because it gave me purpose. It gave me a platform to reach out to others, to speak my mind. And I was like, well, if I don't have Lyme disease, then what am I going to talk about? And then in meditation, I was told that what do you want? And I was like, well, I want wellness. And they're like, well, that's what the fuck you talk about. I was like, okay. So, deep grievances and sadness have taken a toll on all of these years. They've become a way of life. You feel out of control both emotionally and mentally. You're constantly battling against negative thoughts about yourself and others, but feel helpless to change this negative outlook on life. It's as if the negativity has taken on a life of its own, dominating your heart and mind, leaving you carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, which is all of this we can handle in sessions. You have suppressed your sadness because you feel that showing your emotion is a sign of weakness. You feel overlooked by influential people as you are an outcast. You have begun to purposely exclude yourself from any social groups. Yeah, I'm coming out of that, but I definitely did that. You often fail to distinguish between what is your responsibility and what is not. I have this shit highlighted. There is a deep need to help others. You're always helping and rescuing others as you yourself need to be rescued. The time, energy, and support you so freely give others is exactly what you are searching for in your own life. Yes! If you want something from others, give it to yourself. Give it to yourself. It feels so good. And it changes things. And then you're free. You're free. You're allowed to be happy. You allow yourself to be happy, even if you're not, even without anything from anybody else. It's complete freedom over your own existence and your own being. And it feels blissful. It feels blissful for me to know that I can give myself everything that I'm searching for from another person. It's fucking incredible. Jeez. Whee! That's how it feels. As a result of poor boundaries, you unconsciously vent and express your own stress and unmet needs by helping others with similar problems than you. This is called empathetic distress. And it's where we process our own grief and our own emotions through the plight of another person. So, for example, when the whole thing with Syria happened, I was watching these children drowned and be abused and like being separated from their parents and all of that stuff. And I fucking broke down. I was like, I have to get there. I have to get there. This is horrible. I mean, I was like so emotionally fucking just, oh, it hurt so bad. And I was like, I have to go there. And I was speaking to my teacher, and which is Amber Murphy. She's in this group. And she brought up empathetic distress. And I looked it up, and it was like actually selfishness, because I was using someone else's experience and processing my own emotions through it, because I wouldn't give myself the permission to just own how I felt and process my own emotions. And so by doing that, I was really dismissing the person who was actually going through it, their experience. So I really wasn't doing it to be there for them. I was doing it to resolve some conflict within myself, which pointed me to the trauma that I wanted to work on, which was the trauma of like me going through those, not that, but there was like war in the home, you know? And so we can do that. And it's this thing where, yes, we're supposed to reach out, we're supposed to help others, we're supposed to do all of these things, but Michelle Obama has this thing where she's like, you can't really go through halfway and bring somebody up. You have to get to a point where you're feeling secure, and then you go back for the others, and then you can come up and you can go back for the others. And so first, before we are helping others, we want to go through the experience of learning self-love, because that's really at the basis of it. And then once we're able to do that, we're able to be strong enough where we can do what we want and help others, you know? And so by learning that, the symptoms really dissipated, because we need to we want to understand that the manifestation is just our body letting us know, hey, you are depleting your energy. You are completely dismissing the fact that you have to have a full energy body in order to be fully effective for your mission, which is to help others and to be here and raise our vibration. And the thing is, if we share our journey, then we're helping others the whole way. That's why I was called to share so much of my story. I didn't know why. I just trusted it. It made me feel good to vomit myself out. Not in a way of like complaining, but in a way of like, this is something that maybe me sharing will help, because it's miserable. This is my way of helping. And it allowed me to process externally what was going on. You know, so also when we are so focused on something else, then that means we don't have to focus on what's going on with us. And so we'll use relationships as a way to just, oh, well, they're more important, so I'm not gonna, you know, I don't have time. That we'll do it with work. I don't have time to take care of myself. We'll do it with meditation. I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And if you can't take 5 minutes of a 24-hour day, if you can't take 5 minutes for yourself, however, you're just giving and giving and giving and giving, and then we wonder why we feel like shit. Like that's it. It's nothing more than communication from your higher self that, hey, this is not in alignment with what we're here to do. You got to check that shit. And if we don't listen, it'll get more and more and more and more and more and more until like we're like, ah, okay, I'm cool, you know? And then we start fucking working on our shit. So if we are experiencing inflammation in our body, if we are experiencing all of this stuff, it is our body is working perfectly. We got to stop telling ourselves because we want healing, we want to stop telling ourselves that there's something wrong or that there is disease, because there isn't. There's communication. And since perspective is everything, since we have a choice of what our perspective is at every moment, we have a choice. How am I going to look at this? Knowing that the choice we choose to believe in will take us either away from love or towards love. It's either going to take us away from God or closer to God. It's a conscious choice. And it's not always easy to make the choice, but you know, the sweeter the blessing is whenever you get on the other side, I guess. You know, so oh fuck, I hate when that happens, like right in the middle of the thought, just because I moved my phone. All right, I'll stay. Oh, yeah, it's communication. It's communication. And so when we choose to look at it as we're sick, then that is what is going to, our body's going to go, oh, okay, we're sick. I will show you we are sick. And the uncomfortable feeling is there to tell you that that is not in alignment with what we are here to do. Because I'm telling you that when we work on this stuff, the symptoms go away 100%. It's real. You know, and not everything in every group is going to pop, or every reading is going to pop out at you. However, parts of it will. And if your mind is like, oh, woo, that, then that is for you. And if it doesn't apply, then it doesn't apply. Sometimes it helps to get more specific. So, you know, we can look up other stuff too. Write suggestions of what you want me to look up. Or I'm just going to go through my own symptoms, which it might be helpful for us too. So yeah, first step, we are not sick. We are learning. We are getting clear messages. We just have not been taught how to understand the electrical component that we've been given as communication. You know, this is why there's this shift of us getting in touch with our emotions. This is why, you know, there's the toxic masculinity and the toxic feminine, because we're out of touch with our emotions, so we're swinging all over the place. And then when we become conscious that what we are thinking is not necessarily, like, people are like, oh, so, you know, I attracted, here's a personal one, so I attracted being raped, so it's my fault. And that's not it at all. That's not it at all. However, I had been participating in energies and things like that that were of a lower vibration. And so what it is the vibration we're choosing to be at. Now, I didn't know any of this shit back then. When we are focusing on a certain vibration and continually participating in a lower vibration, we're open to all of the things on that vibrational plane, you know. And then it gets more specific to what kind of trauma you've experienced, and then so anything that is of that vibration on that plane you will attract. And is it my fault that I got raped? Absolutely not. Is it anyone else's fault? No, because there are things that are play outside of us, the other person's karma and things like that, you know? And it's not that people that have a higher vibration don't get raped, because they do. However, how they choose to do with it, what they choose to do with it does make a difference. How we choose to look at our situations. We have that choice. And is it easy? No. Was it easy for me to stop telling me this other story about being raped? No. And when I did it, I felt better. You know what I mean? So we want to understand that the choices we're making to of perception about whatever we're going through is going to determine the vibration of things we will attract in the future, you know? And so the brain can carry like something like 2.6 billion thoughts at one time, and the way it will filter out what to believe in is what you are thinking about most. Do you see? So how it manifests, like our emotions are a first communication of what, you know, our higher self is guiding us towards. We have been shut down, and so then we're not getting the rest of the message. And so the way that it builds up to get the attention is by making a physical manifestation. That is just how it works. There's the thought vibration, and then there's the physical vibration, you know? And so because we've just been taught that there's no reason for these things, you're just sick, and now you need the help of someone outside of yourself to fix things for you, and they actually do more damage, not all of the time, but a lot of the time. And we keep giving our power away. We're completely just giving our power away every time, and we're focusing on the, oh, I'm sick, oh, I'm sick, oh, I'm sick. Because that's the other thing that I stopped doing, was going to the doctor, you know? And it's like, it's a tough one, because sometimes it's scary, and sometimes the symptom, it's like sometimes they don't go away. Maybe because, you know, it's part of our contract or whatever. There are instances where the path of ease ends up coming with transitioning into the energy body, which we call death, you know? But whatever it is that brings us relief, you know, we want to keep going on, because that will continually increase our vibration. And you can hijack your vibration by doing things like listening to positive music, eating clean, high vibration food. This is the whole thing with meat. The reason why it causes a lot of problem for us is because we are ingesting, you know, another animal that we take their life, and that karmically comes with its own issues. And so when we're wanting to hijack things and kind of accelerate things, we can do that by eating the highest vibrational food, which is why there's such a push to do the fruit diets, because fruit, karmically speaking, is the only thing that comes without a karmic tie to it, because the earth literally gives it to us. Even some vegetables we're going and we're cutting it from the plant. It's still of a high vibration, because we're not taking animal life and ingesting the fear and stuff, although some people would argue with that. So we can hijack it by spending time in the sun, laughing with friends, finding joy. Like playing is the fastest way. So I forgot how to play. So oh, there's all these comments. Holy poop. I'm sorry, guys. I thought it would scroll down automatically. So I'll have to go back. So it's one of those things where, for me, my goal was to manifest a better experience for myself, whatever that looked like. I was suicidal. I hated my life. I was in so much pain. I was homeless. Like, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. I couldn't figure out. I was, what? I was like, geez, I feel like I'm cursed. I feel like I'm cursed, And so by like doing all of this stuff and figuring out, oh, you can just biohack all of this shit by raising your vibration, and I will notice when I start eating meat, I have more pain, and when I am ignoring a feeling, I will have more pain. When I am feeling fear about something and my consciousness is like saying, hey, there's nothing to have fear about, I will have more pain. It's just communication. That's it. We want to start telling ourselves, this is communication. What is my body saying? Let me get back into my emotions. Where is my mind right now? What neighborhood am I in? Because like if we're in the past and we've had a traumatic past, then we're just recycling that experience that we had, and it's gonna feel like shit. Like it's just gonna feel like shit. And the first way it feels like shit is anxiety. So, we'll feel anxiety because we are disconnected from our center, and the anxiety is like, hey, you're disconnected from true alignment and source, and we're just gonna keep getting worse until you decide to come back. It's like when a child gets kind of spanked for running away or go not looking before you walk in the street. That's a big one. I did spank my boys because I was like, what the fuck? Oh my God. And I remember Micah, after I saved it, he was a little older. He was like, because he just went to walk out past a car, and I pulled him back, and he just stopped, and he goes, that was one of those times where I almost died, right? I was like, fucking yes, it is, man. Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna look both ways from now on. I was like, so it's kind of that redirection. And same thing if we are projecting our thinking into the future, because teleportation is real. We only do it on our timeline though, and we do it also by you know what we call dying and then coming back in our own timeline. So that's the other thing. You're just responsible for yourself. And everything else works out after you get yourself up. It will ripple out, I promise. The love is rippling out. That's what's happening. It's a massive shift. It's like dominoes. So all of this stuff that's going on in the world right now, understand that it is for our betterment, because it's a reflection of what is going on in our internal universe. There's upcoming shadows. We're having trauma come to the surface, and it's all so we can heal it and release that energy. And once we release that energy and get back in touch with our emotions, we naturally stop doing stupid shit like, raping and pillaging and stuff like that. And so listening, it will guide you. Your body will tell you, hey, first of all, you're not in your now, and that's why you feel shitty. So if you're in your future and you had a traumatic past, then you're going to project thinking wrapped in that past, which keeps the vibration active and keeps it, reinforcing, I've been traumatized, which is not my message. And so then you're gonna be shitting Philly. Shitting Philly. Anyway, you're gonna be feeling shitty. And if we ignore that time and time and time again, it will manifest physically. And so there's some questions that we can go over to help us work through this stuff. And I'm going to go back I don't know who's all in here because it only says I have 2 people in here. I don't ever think that it's appropriate. Not appropriate. Accurate. All right. So, Sunny and Lacey, I love you. Manuel, Michelle. Hi. Hi, Gino. Yeah, I am so happy that you're feeling better, Sunny. Okay, Lacey, spine, arms, aching last night while sleeping. Um, well, good job. You did your meditation. I meditated a lot yesterday. I've been meditating a lot. um, we can look up that stuff. Send it to me in a message, and then I'll go over it tomorrow. Um, yeah, yeah. See, Sunny said that she's still extremely happy, excited, and grateful. Yeah, each moment. We are responsible for our own happiness. We are responsible for our own happiness. If we are in a moment where we find ourselves unhappy, it's our responsibility to do the work so that we can find peace. That's what the whole finding relief thing is. It's nobody else's fucking issue. When we are unhappy, it is our responsibility to look at the situation in a way that finds us in a state of being relieved. Okay? No matter what. Because we want to manifest a better experience, right? So when someone is pissing me off and I know it's shifting my vibration and they're getting to me, fuck them. It's my job to find relief. Sometimes that's breaking the connection with that person. Sometimes that's speaking my mind. Sometimes it's leaning into a situation. And understand that we are always manifesting something for our future. So when I was homeless, like this is what happened. What happened was I moved back from Maryland and I moved in with a friend, and it was wonderful. We were extremely wonderfully provided for. However, there were other things that were not healthy for me personally. And so I would sit outside and I would feel like shit. And I had already had the message that I was creating my future experience based on how I was feeling now and in this moment. So I was like, okay, well, can I leave the situation? Not right now. Okay, can I, am I present? Yes, I am. Okay, can I look at this in another perspective? Can I go general right now? And I couldn't at the time because I didn't have as much practice then. And then, so it was, okay, well, get your mind in a better place. What brings you relief? And at that time, what brought me relief was thinking about the house I'm going to have. And then we ended up homeless like a year later, like really homeless, and like not really being able to barter. Well, I mean, we kind of did because we had a place to sleep at night, but it got really bleak for a while. And I was going around to the homeless shelters trying to get us in somewhere, and like none of it was happening. And then the DeLand one said that they wouldn't allow Lucas to stay in the unit with me. He'd have to go to the men's unit. And when I said why, they said because he's a boy, and around the age of 10, they start looking at women, which was obviously sexist and wrong. So I made a stink about it. And the whole thing was, okay, I'm miserable. I want to get out of this situation. What's the message? And the message was to lean in. And I was like, well, what does that look like? And they said, my guides said, go to the homeless shelters. And that's why I did that. And so I went. And then that other situation happened, and in the moment I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's just one thing after the other, and I was just kept challenged myself to being like, okay, how can I feel okay in this situation, knowing how I choose to feel right now is going to manifest whatever in the future. Not lying to yourself, it's not fucking positivity, because sometimes being positive is not true for yourself. And if we're acknowledging our emotions, that means we want to acknowledge our true fucking emotions, right? And so choose a perspective that brings you relief, because because you're responsible. Because you're responsible for what you're manifesting. And once you know that, that's it, man. It's like, now when I'm in pain or whatever, I'm like, all right, this is me doing it. So what have I been ignoring to the point where it's lowering my vibration into the pain, you know? So here's the questions that come with this. Okay, so, and again, it's the autoimmune illness. You feel challenged to express your truth. Often you were verbally attacked or silenced. How did this make you feel? Communicating, often unintentionally, provokes confrontation. When in your life did this happen? How did it make you feel? Trauma related to expressing yourself and then being attacked for doing so. Not understanding what trust is, how to and when to trust. This is something we can work on healing sessions. Why? What happened that made you feel this way? Also explore birth trauma and see the birth section. You are sabotaging your life and personal progress. Why? What would happen if you achieved great success? Oh, that was a huge one for me. Like, the manifestations of illness kept me from my greatness, which was fucking terrifying. It feels good to know I'm not afraid of that anymore. You need something. Oh, what in your life would you have to change? Hold on, wait. What would you have to change in life that you don't want to change? You need something that you can work towards and look forward to. You have suppressed your creativity and what used to inspire you. What stopped you from connecting to that? What stops you now from recreating your passion? Explore self-sabotage. Low self-esteem. Who made you feel unimportant? Why do you feel separate from others? Explore any earlier separation trauma. Now, there will be some people that are like, I don't have any separation trauma. I don't have any attachment disorders. Yes, we all do. Because as soon as we come here, we have the realization that we're separated from source as we know it, which is collective. And it feels, that's the whole thing, feeling like we've been abandoned by God. Whether we have or haven't, that's the way we interpreted it. So there's usually a religious or spiritual kind of trauma there too. What are you grieving for? You often don't know how to receive nurturing and healthy attention from others in a way that is healthy for you. If this is the case, then what happened to make you feel this way? If you do not want to talk about it, then how does it make you feel without needing to repeat the story of the trauma? Fear of success or fear of failure. Exploring feelings of guilt. What made you feel guilty? Is it rational guilt? Is it true? Right? Byron Katie has a 4-step process that is awesome. And the first one, is it true? What story are we telling ourselves about something that happened? And what trauma are we projecting on it? You feel like giving up. Why? How did this make you feel? You feel attacked by someone close to you. If yes, explore this further. When you expressed your need for love or support, how was your need met and responded to by the above mentioned parent? Go through the developmental stages: being attacked, feeling overwhelmed, having too much responsibility, feelings of blame, guilt, helplessness, and being unable to make choices or be happy. Explore similarities between your emotions, habits, and your mother's. Hold on. There was, oh yes, okay, thank you. A lot of women are, it's a majority of women who are going through autoimmune disease. I'm not saying that it's only women, however, it is a lot of women. And a lot of it is because there's an imbalance in our masculine and feminine natures, and often women are left to have a lot of responsibility. I know for me, I not only was managing my own life, but I was managing the life of my partner and also my kids. And I'm sure he felt the same way, you know, in other areas of life. But it felt like I was running a business, and then I couldn't start my own business because I was running a family business. And it's depleting, you know, it's depleting, and it's so we often don't give ourselves the opportunity to rest because we're responsible for so much. We feel we are responsible for so much, which is the self-love deficit. And so we will manifest chronic fatigue and inflammation to show us. Inflammation is always angry. What are you angry about? That's inflammation anywhere is always fear and anger. And it's usually fear of something that makes you angry. So, and then explore birth trauma and all of that stuff. So, what do you think? Did it resonate? And again, a way to kind of energy hack this is by just doing things that raise your vibration and look at things that are popping up to be healed, you know? And like, I was having issues with my elbow for a week, and finally I looked at the book. I was like, oh, all right, fine. And I am going to read it to you because you guys know what I've been going through and what I've been processing and stuff. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Elbow problems. Here we go. Okay, this is so funny. So, elbow problems are related to feeling, this is very short, related to feeling very indecisive. So that right there tells me what I want is to make a fucking decision and stop doing this back and forth thing. And when I sat with the decisions of going back and staying here, what made me feel good was staying here. However, I felt obligated to go home. So my body was showing me, hey, there's a decision to be made here. And then when I sat and meditated on why don't I want to go home? Or why do I feel like I should go home? A lot came up about the trauma I went through having my children, around being a mother. Am I a good mother? I have so much pain there that I never talked about. I still really haven't told anybody the whole story of what it was like to go through postpartum psychosis and the attachment trauma that I had being separated from my newborn. And I mean, like, it was so hard. It was horrible. It was honestly horrible. And then being put in psych wards that are more like prisons, and then you're around people who are like violent, and it smelled like piss, and the doors are metal, and the walls are uh, cement block. It's not even like a real fucking wall. It's like this message of like, you don't even deserve real walls. You don't deserve any comfort because you're sick. That's what it felt like. And oh, there was so much trauma. And then that's when the trauma was caused between Carlos and I. And I mean, it was huge. And I didn't realize that I hadn't looked at any of that. So I sat and I meditated with that, and I listened to my guides, talk to me about that I am a good mom. And then I cried about that, and it was a lot of releasing of the emotions, which then I was like, okay, well, I want to feel better. So I'm going to choose what brings relief and trust that the universe is going to take care of everything else. And so I canceled my ticket yesterday. Well, first, I was also telling myself the story that it was going to be this whole big ordeal, and that I was going to tell Carlos that, oh, and that was something else that came up. Because I have had to do it by myself without his help, I know how hard it is. And so me being away, I was like feeling guilty that he was having to do something that was hard. However, it ended up beneficial for me. So I'm going to trust the universe that it could be beneficial and healing for him. And when I called him, I mean, he was so cool about it. He was just kind of like, well, I mean, he's like, this is what's going on. And he's like, yeah, I totally get it. I totally understand. And I was like, okay. And he was like, we'll see what you can do about the ticket. Again, I was thinking it was going to be this big ordeal. I go on the website, and not only did I get to cancel, like with no issues, I got $1 back. And I was just like, huh, okay. And I had prayed, make it clear that this is what I'm supposed to do. And then Sonny and Russell offered me the opportunity to take the truck and just pay for like the tags and stuff. So everything, boop, fell right into place. Like, what? Okay. And guess what? I could sleep all night last night because my elbows didn't hurt. I'm up, moving around, and I don't have any pain. So you tell me, So the rest of it is not knowing whether to leave or continue a project, job, or relationship, feeling obligated to see things through. However, there is no benefit in doing so for you. Your loyalty and devotion to a project or person is holding you back. You don't necessarily need to move away from a current circumstance. However, you do need to change how you feel about it. You're growing and moving into a different direction in your life. Current circumstances may not be fulfilling enough to support the new changes that need to take place within yourself and your environment. The other thing that I was not making a decision about was, am I going to move here or not? What makes me feel joy is the idea of moving here, even though like it's a Johnstown is a depleting, and it's cold. However, the town is waking up, and I know I'm a part of that healing. It makes me feel joyous. Where in Florida, I don't feel like I have a place. I don't know. I don't feel like I have a place. I feel stuck. I feel, I do. I feel like I am growing in a different direction, and I'm excited for that. So I'm going to make the decisions that bring me joy and know that is creating a better experience for myself. So that is today. And tomorrow, since Lacey brought up the spine and arms, or joints and muscles, all of that. Of course, it's inflammation either way. So what are you angry at? What are you angry at? And then do the forgiveness exercise that we did in the Ho'oponoponoponopa, whatever the fuck it's called. Ho'oponono? Ho'oponopono. Hip Hop Anonymous? I don't know. And what are you avoiding? So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh no, wait. Card readings. Lacey. Who else is here? That one's a card reading. Speak up. I'm getting my stuff together. Lacey, the key tag that you gave to me, I love it so much. I'm afraid of losing it. So I have it in my spirit bag, and I look at it every day. I love it. I love it. It says, keep fucking going, everybody. I fucking love it. So let's see here. I'm going to cleanse my space. And before I do the reading, who else is here that wants a reading? Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what Ho'oponoponopo is, but I can't say it. All right. Hang on a second. So, Gamignana is a smokable herb that will bring calmness. I got a blend from a friend of mine. All right, let's see here. Okay, we're gonna do sage. I love you, Lacey, and if it's quite alright, I love you, Lacey. I don't know if anybody's gonna come in for a reading. We went a long time today, so. Smudgy, smudgy, smudgy. Oh, love, 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 love all over your body. I always sage the bottom of my feet to clean the connection between me and the earth. You know, may I walk on love. May I be a clear conduit between above and below. Yay! You'll know when you're raising your vibration too, because you'll feel happy. You'll feel really good. When thoughts are in alignment, they feel really fucking good. And miracles, the definition of a miracle is a shift in perception, right? It's a shift. So miracles happen every fucking day, in every fucking way. All right, we're doing readings. So if you want a reading, just write you want a reading. All right, you mean you want to buy more of it, Lacey? I love that we're accountability partners. That's funny. All right. All right, all right, all right. Did I get everything? I did. All right, one more. Rose water raises the vibration. It's also good for your heart chakra. All right, Lacey Cakes. Let me ground myself for a minute. I'd like to call in my cosmic and galactic family. I'd like to call in my ascended masters and my archangels. I'd like to invite my spirit guides and my higher self and my loved ones that have passed on into the light that are coming back to bring messages of clarity, support, guidance. Allow me to be a conduit for clarity, for love, for guidance. And I'd like to call in Lacey's cosmic and galactic family. I'd like to call in her archangels and her ascended masters. I'd like to call in her spirit guides and her higher self, and our loved ones that have passed on into the light, that have come back to bring messages of clarity and support. Yay! Everyone's here. Hi, gang. Lacey, is your grandmother still alive? I'm feeling on your dad's side. Oh, this bra is killing me. But you can totally see through this shirt. You can see my nips. All right, Lacey. Are you ready? I just want to know what Lacey needs to know today. What's the message that she needs, that she wants to hear today in order to align herself with her highest good and her highest expression of herself? What will take her closer to love and healing and high vibration and joy and alignment? You know what is on Lacey's heart. You know where she's at. You know what she's experiencing. And I ask that you allow me to be a conduit for that message. So we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. In reverse keys, in reverse keys. Wow, that made me dizzy. Your dad's real mom isn't alive? Oh, yeah. Oh, had to go. Yeah, that's what I felt like on your dad's side. That's okay. Well, I'm interested to hear how she died. Because my message is unclear. At first, it felt like I thought it was a heart attack because I saw someone falling to the floor. But then I got the feeling of something in like this region and maybe like a stroke or something. I don't know if I have that ability. I'm just saying that's what, like, there was an issue with something. To do with speaking, I think. I don't know. She's showing me something and I don't understand what's going on, but it makes me dizzy. All right. So I'm not even sure, like, if it was, I mean, it just feels like, it's weird. It's weird. I can't explain it. I don't know. I can't explain it. And it's like, I don't know if that's right. It feels weird. Like, it feels weird. I've always just worked with my guides, you know. This is brand new for me to channel in other people's guides and family. And so I'm learning to discern. God, there's something with like a scream. I don't know. I'll have to sit with that because I don't know what's, it's, huh. Okay, she was very old. I'll ask my dad. Your grandma on your mom's side had a stroke though, and she's still around. That's what it felt like, was a stroke. Or not felt like, but that was like the kind of, because everything went numb on this side. Not numb, but for me it didn't go numb, but that was the impression. That's weird. That's kind of trippy. I don't know what any of that means. Thanks for playing with me. I'm letting Kelly know that I'm still on doing card readings. That's interesting. Okay. So the Lord, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Are you already looking it up? Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I gotta take a drink. Oh, I have no more coffee. I admit I'm totally addicted to coffee again. I'm experiencing the manifestation. It's always such a comfort, you know, and it's a part of a morning ritual kind of a thing. And I feel like I want that right now. And I've tried so many other things and it just doesn't take, it's not the same thing. And I don't think it's actually the coffee that's bothering me. Maybe it is. Like, I would like to get a low acid decaffeinated because I think it's the acid and the caffeine that's bothering me. And if I really want it, then, you know, I want to take that action. A lot of it, though, is like I like it with milk in it. And milk, I'm breaking out. My body is inflamed. My body is telling me clearly not to drink milk, and yet I want to be more consistent with my food choices. I would like to heal whatever the trauma that is. You know, it's totally an addiction. I'm doing it to get out of myself. I'm emotionally eating. That's what happened to your mom's mom. So wait, your mom's mom had a stroke and died? Oh, no, I got it. Okay. Yeah, girl. Overinvestment and self-worth. All right. So the Nine of Pentacles reversed is all about self-worth. When you see this card in a tarot reading, take the opportunity to reflect on your own sense of self-worth and value. Just so happens to be what we're looking at. I love it. Thank you. On one hand, you may question whether you are enough, whether your skills are valuable, whether you can charge higher prices or ask for a pay raise, or whether you can attract the right people into your life. You may be undercharging for your services, working for free, or accepting lower salary than you know you should. Know that you deserve to be wealthy in all facets of the word. Maybe that's why you're interested in doing the money challenges so much with me, because that's where I'm at. On the other hand, you may focus on increasing your sense of self-worth, investment in yourself. Self-love is best love. Get a new wardrobe makeover, learn a new skill to enhance your career, or take personal development course. And you just started taking those courses, like you're totally there, girl. Even if you're reluctant to spend money on yourself, you know you can indulge in life's luxuries, particularly if it makes you feel good and worth it. You are enough. You are more than enough. You are amazing. Sometimes the reverse Nine of Pentacles can appear when you're so busy working and hustling that you have no time or energy to enjoy the fruits of your labor. For example, in an effort to build worth, you may be working 70 hours a week with no time for breaks, missing out on the opportunity to enjoy the riches you're creating. Know where the limit is with wealth creation. At some point, you need to stop and smell the luxurious bouquet of long-stemmed roses. Remember what is truly important to you. Now may be a good time to retreat into a natural setting, a forest, a beach, a mountain, or a lake, to restore your energies and rejuvenate yourself. Similarly, the reverse Nine of Pentacles suggests that you may need to release some of your need for a particular income or standard of living, especially if it gets in the way of other life priorities such as family or relationships. You may think you need the best of everything, but really all you need is your family and loved ones around you. Do not be afraid to take a cut in your income for a short time or reduce your hours at work, even if it means you have to eat rice and beans every night for a week to make up for it. It is vital you focus on what is most important to you. Finances may need to come second, and while you need to at least put food on the table, there may be areas where you can cut back and reduce your dependence on material wealth. That was a big thing that I went through. That's like, a message. Hey, Ron. So that's a part of waking up. That's a part of the process is, realizing that the attachment to material things, crosses the line at some point where it becomes, depleting of our energy, because we're just, first of all, we're comparing ourselves, and we're working, and we tell ourselves all kinds of stories about it. So, yeah, integrate with grace and ease. We would like to integrate these changes with grace and ease. You must say that when you're manifesting, because especially if you're having something removed from your life, with grace and ease, because sometimes it's a train wreck if you don't do that, because it happens so quickly, or it happens in a way where you weren't expecting it. For example, I did the whole manifesting $50,000 within a year, and however, it came from my mother passing away. So be specific. It doesn't mean that I caused her death. I'm not saying that. It just happened that the two coincided with each other, and it showed me that what I want is money free and clear of any strings attached. And it happened this week, by the way, Lacey, because I've still been kind of working on the money manifestation or not this week, last week, where Wells Fargo deposited money into my bank account for no reason. I had no idea what it was, and then I got an email, and they were like, "Here's money." I've never banked at Wells Fargo. I have no idea where the fuck that came from. I was just like, "Yes, this is mine. Thank you. I would like it with no strings attached. How wonderful." You know? So it is possible. What we focus on is what we will experience. Okay, so Sunny. Okay, thank you, Lacey's Guides. I love you guys. Thank you. Sunny. Oh, half calf. Oh, oat milk. I do like oat milk. That is one that I like. You're right. Okay, so maybe I will just try that first, because I do love it. I love it so much. I love it. Okay, I feel like I was energetically cut off in the dark for years. Now I just feel a flow that is relaxed and peaceful, really cool. Yeah, I mean, really, our natural state, Lacey and I did a healing session the other day, and it went great. And so our natural state of being is wellness. It's homeostasis. It's happiness and joy, and that doesn't depend on your circumstances, you know, because you can go through really shit circumstances and still be happy, as I have clearly shown. uh so uh so yeah, all right, now I understand my meditation this morning. Okay, so now I am being told, okay, so our natural state of being is homeostasis. It is wellness. It is, balanced. And it's, people want to talk about fighting illness and fighting this and fighting this. Fighting is resistance. And not only is it resistance, but you're constantly focusing on something, a vibration, and keeping it active, which means you're going to see it in your environment. And so basically what we do in sessions is just remove blocks out of the way. That's it. And then our natural state of being can, shine more. And so when we do sessions, the first thing that people seem to be experiencing is a sense of lightness, relaxation, peace. And a quick way to explain theta healing is it operates on the same level of brain waves that hypnosis does. So essentially, yeah, I take us up into a hypnotic state, and then I make these changes to the energy, which then manifests in the physical world. It's pretty fucking cool. And I've done enough healings now where I'm like, oh yeah, this shit is, yeah, it's not just me. This shit fucking works. It makes me so happy. It makes me giddy happy. I love. So the whole thing with being in the dark for years, my meditation this morning was, I feel like what happened, my friend was saying she thinks everyone is aliens here. And I said, I disagree with that. I think that there was a race of aliens from this planet that we refer to as human, and we adopted their lifestyle because we had been kind of in a state of space where we were like the Bermuda Triangle of, the space. And now we're becoming visible because we got a call, we, the collective, got a call from Earth herself, basically saying like, help me, these humans are killing me. And so we came in human form into the trauma, knowing that we'll have guides along the way, into the trauma, accepting the vibration of not just that lifetime, but the lifetime of all of our ancestors, the lifetime of every past life, all of the genetic stuff. We agreed to take it all on. That's why a lot of us manifest these physical issues at early ages too. And so we knew by practicing energy medicine, eating high vibrational foods, working on trauma, oh, my computer's gonna die, that it would raise our vibration, and we knew that the vibration would ripple out and then raise other people's vibration, and then it's like a wildfire, and so we can see like Gandhi was coming in, and Martin Luther King is coming in, and all of these light workers started popping up all over the world. And now it's just getting more and more and more and more and more, and eventually we're going to get to a point where everyone will be of a higher vibration. You're going to shift up or shift out. That's it. And we'll stop hurting each other in the earth, because naturally those behaviors are a lower vibration. So all of the stuff that's happening right now on our planet, as far as like, governments all over the place, everything is coming up all over the place. Japan or China is having one of the biggest riots they've ever had right now. And it is chaos because, again, it's a reflection of what's going on inside our bodies. So the shit is coming to the surface to be, strained out like fat in a soup. You scoop that shit off the top. And so we're coming up where that's it. We're just looking at, it's a reflection of what's going on inside. And as we change inside, it does change the reflection you see. People tell me all the time, things will get in, I'll hear a news thing, it'll be like, oh shit, like this is happening. Attention, get your attention over here, over here, over here, and then I'll see more of it and I'll feel crappy and I'll do all of this stuff. But I focus on a majority of positive stuff. I have my Facebook all lined up, so it's all positive stuff going on. And so I only see like good shit, you know what I mean? Not only, but like I generally have like good shit going on. So understand that, like, and if we're in a place of fear about what's going on right now, then we are generating more of it in our future. So the most effective thing we can do is focus on peace. Every time you feel sucked in by some political bullshit, remember, you're responsible. You are important. Each of our vibration is important. Each choice we make is important. There's this quote I like, you're always going to have a choice of your view, like what your view will be. Make sure you choose the best possible view, No, you'll always have a choice of what window you want to look out of in life. Make sure you choose the best possible view. And so if we can train our minds that, well, if I can worry negatively, then I can reprogram myself to worry positively. And when we're focusing on what we want, and the more practice we have of going, oh, I feel icky, that's not in alignment with what my higher self wants me to be focusing on, what's the opposite of that? Oh, peace. I'm going to focus on, I feel afraid right now, so I know I'm responsible for my future vibration, so happiness is my responsibility. What can I do right now to bring relief in my body? I can sit and think about what would the world look like, you know, in balance and at peace. What would the world look like? How would we treat each other? What kinds of things would shift? How beautiful would it be? What would we be able to accomplish as entities, you know? What would we be able to accomplish as gods if we can own all of that, you know? So focus on the peace. Focus on what you want to see. Sunny, do you want a reading? Are you still here? That was the message that came through in my meditation today. I wonder if that's going to happen every morning. That's kind of cool. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if I help you, please, because I want to make sure that what I'm doing is helping, or I want to change my platform, I guess. So I don't know who is here. Would anyone else like a reading? Yep. Okay, Sunny. All right, skis. Yay! I'm going to call in Sunny's cosmic and galactic family. I'm going to call in her ascended masters and her higher self. I'm going to call in her archangels and spirit guides. And I'm going to call in her loved ones that have passed on into the light, that are coming back. Yay! To bring messages of clarity and support and guidance. Yay! Your mom and Shannon are here. Yay! Shannon's back. Oh! Yay. All right. Ooh, I'm noticing that every time I communicate with another spirit, I am dizzy. That is awesome. Oh, thank you, Lacey. Okay. All right. So, all right. Y'all know what is up. You know what is on Sunny's heart. You know what she is looking for guidance with, or what confirmation she's looking for, or what clarity. And I ask that you allow me to be a conduit for the messages that you have for her. I love you! All right, 5 of Cups in reverse keys. All right, 5 of Cups in reverse keys. 5 of Cups. All right. All right, so 5 of Cups in reverse. The reverse 5 of Cups suggests that you've recently suffered a personal setback or disappointment. You worry that you're a failure and you don't want to let others know that you've taken the wrong path. Or you may not be ready to admit it to others and are choosing to keep your feelings to yourself. However, now might be the time to open up. People around you may not see how much pain